Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So it looks like the first reactions for Rebel Moon Part 1 are out. I'm going to be taking a look at them and breaking them down and seeing sort of what this means for the film itself, how I think this will affect its chances in terms of like Rotten Tomatoes and like the general audience and its viewership. So yeah, let's take a look at the first one and break it down. And this one states, astounding. What a spectacle. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire is a grand, action-packed, beautiful, and emotional film with breathtaking visuals, a compelling story, and a vast mythology. An original sci-fi space opera with an incredible vision at Rebel Moon. So starting off very, very positive, talking about its action, its beautiful visuals, compelling story. That makes me very, very excited for the film. I was already excited for it, but this first reaction is sort of coming off strong, starting off very strong. And look, I sort of expect it to be good because it's Zack Snyder. And look, I'm not a Zack Snyder hater and I'm not a Zack Snyder fan. I'm very neutral on Snyder, right? So I expected it to be good because he's had a lot of time to work on this. This is sort of his rebound after the DC stuff. But yeah, let's look at this next one. The next one says, I've seen Rebel Moon and it is a visually awesome and especially ambitious ride. While not perfect, this first part will definitely leave you wanting more. Bring on part 2. So again, very positive reviews or social media reactions for Rebel Moon. Now keep in mind, the first reactions for films typically, or the first social media reactions typically tend to be more positive because people don't want to outright come out and say the movie's bad if it was just okay. And so they tend to be more positive. People tend to want to talk about the things they enjoyed rather than talking about the things they didn't. But yeah, again, very positive. These first two are talking about its visuals, its action, its story, and its ambition. So that gets me excited. But yeah, let's just keep in mind that the first reactions typically tend to be more positive. But anyway, moving on. This next one says, okay, Rebel Moon is quite simply epic. Massive scale, beautiful visuals, of course, awesome action, and some really fascinating mythology. There's lots of exciting setup for what's to come, but it's still very satisfying as its own movie. Jimmy has also stolen my heart. So again, very, very positive coming out of the premiere of Rebel Moon. Again, talking about its beautiful visuals, its amazing action, some cool mythology getting thrown in there, and this is sort of Snyder's I guess version of Star Wars, right? I think this was originally pitched as a Star Wars film, but Lucasfilm didn't want to make it, so he thought he'd make his own IP around it. I think that's what I heard. I don't know how true that is. Take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, again, everybody praising its visuals. These are starting off pretty positive. These first three are getting me excited and are very encouraging for what's to come for the film. I'm very excited to see it, and these first three look really good. So yeah, but this next one says, I wish I could say that I loved or even liked Rebel Moon, but after a promising first act, it launches itself off a cliff. Zack Snyder is more concerned with cool action scenes than establishing and ensuring we're invested in his characters. So our first pretty negative one, this one is outright negative to tell you the truth. The only thing they praise is sort of the first act, but going on to say that it goes off a cliff after the first act and Snyder's more interested in visuals than he is with characters, which Snyder is a very divisive director, he really is. I've enjoyed some of his films, I've really disliked some of his other ones, so again, I'm quite neutral on Snyder, but I know that he has his haters and he has his diehards, right? It's very strange, right? Because he is a very divisive director, but I don't know why him specifically is so divisive. I mean, yeah, he's made some good movies and some bad movies, but, I don't know, he is very divisive. But again, that was our first pretty negative review or reaction for Rebel Moon. So yeah, let's see what these next ones say. So this next one says, I wanted to love Rebel Moon, and parts of it I did, especially at the end. It spent so much time assembling the team, so getting to know the characters more in the extended cut will probably enhance it. It's big on style, but the ambitious story could have been better delivered. So again, another one skewing more negative, saying that the movie spends more time assembling the characters than we do getting to know the characters for what's to come. And we know there's going to be a director's cut, but I think if you're going to do a director's cut, make sure your theatrical cut or your regular cut is still very, very entertaining. It should be the best version. It should be. The one you're releasing wide should be the best version. But again, another pretty negative one. So yeah, let's move on. This next one says, Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire is filled to the brim with stunning visuals and epic action sequences. Zack Snyder builds a sci-fi world that could easily have infinite stories being told about it. Ends on a massive cliffhanger while setting up Part 2. So again, a pretty positive one. We're now starting to see a mix of some more positive and more negative ones. Again, speaking to Snyder's divisiveness among fans and people watching his films. Again, it's to be expected with Snyder though that he will have epic visuals and amazing action. That is something to be expected with him. But you know, I guess in some of his films where he has struggled is character, right? And I guess not emotion, but depth, maybe one could say. But anyway, so yeah, that one seems pretty positive, right? So I'm still excited for the film. I'm still gonna be watching and reviewing it, but these are some mixed reviews, so I'm interested to see what my thoughts are regarding the film. But anyway, let's move on to this next one. This next one says, Rebel Moon is the first movie I've walked out of in a long time. A stunning dearth of drama, aggressive over-direction, and bad acting throughout. An absolute buffet for Snyder haters. Now, this is very negative. This is like outright hated the movie pretty much, and you know, it is disappointing to see these, you know, because typically, again, with first social media reactions, they will tend to be more positive. So the fact that we're getting really negative ones is not a good sign at all. I'm expecting this Rotten Tomatoes score to be around maybe 50s or 60s if we're lucky, to tell you the truth. But yeah, we know how divisive Snyder is. I could love this, I could hate this. I really don't know, but you know, these reactions are not looking that amazing. Anyway, moving on. This next one says, Rebel Moon Part 1: A Child of Fire should have aligned with my predilection for epic storytelling, but left me feeling detached. Zack Snyder's clunky execution makes even the most basic drama feel tedious. Derivative sci-fi with an unimpressive slow-mo action and dull characters. Wow, so again, another outright negative one pretty much, which is, it is really disappointing to see this because, you know, Snyder has been working on this for a while, and this is supposed to be his new beginning at Netflix, and I'm going to be honest, it's not looking good. I'm still excited. I'm obviously going to watch and review it. It comes out on the 22nd of December. I am excited because, you know, listen, I really enjoyed Batman vs Superman. I know there are people who hated it. I didn't really love the Snyder Cut, but I know there are people who loved it. So he is a divisive director. He is. And so it's sort of interesting to see how sort of split down the middle this is. Some people outright love it, while others outright hate it. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see what the general audience thinks, to see what the reception is, to see what the viewership's like, to see if he even gets to make his trilogy. Like, I think it's meant to be a trilogy, right? I know there's a part 2. I'm not sure if it's been filmed yet, but if it hasn't, if this doesn't do well, I don't think that's getting made. This was supposed to be a massive IP for Snyder and Netflix. They were supposed to have spin-off shows, spin-off movies. I was excited for it, and I still am. I am. Listen, the truth is, even if the movie's not that great, if it has great viewership and is a massive hit on Netflix, it's going to get a sequel. You better believe that. And so, yeah. Again, it is disappointing to see these outright negative reviews. But look, listen, it's, you know, film is subjective. If these reviews are genuine, then all the power to them, you know. I'm not going to get mad at people for disliking a movie. That's stupid. But, you know, again, we'll see. I might hate the movie. I might love the movie. I don't know. But anyway, that's it for this video. Those were the first reactions for Rebel Moon Part 1. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Are you excited for this film? Let me know your thoughts on Snyder as a director. Do you think that he is as divisive as I say he is, or as people say he is? Do you think you're going to love this film? Do you think you're going to hate it? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm very interested to know your guys' thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and it would really help me out. Also, turn on post notifications if you haven't already, so that way you don't miss when I upload. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.